Hey, look, there's a fingernail in the sky. 5:07 a.m., 68 degrees Fahrenheit. What's poppin', people? It's Dante. Such a beautiful morning today here in Philadelphia. Feels so nice in the morning. I just love to get myself right outside. Yeah, what do I do to get myself outside right away? I slam a bunch of espresso and I get out there and I hit the streets. I think the most optimal way to live life is maximally spent outside. Personally, this is just where I thrive, and so because of this, I tend to immediately, when I rise in the morning, grab my camera and go. You know, I'll hit the shower and get out there. And yeah, the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning is photography. So I just go out there and I start practicing photography. But personally, I enjoy walking along the river here in nature, you know, listening to the birds and just sort of being on my own first thing in the morning. I think this is the perfect place for me to photograph. And yeah, here we are. Let me set my camera up. P mode, snap focus infinity, and then I'll just point and shoot. Wielding my camera as a sword, striking through the heart of chaos, revealing the soul of the street, creating visual order and harmony through the spontaneity of everyday life. You know, I wield this camera as a sword. I wield my camera as a key, unlocking the multifaceted doors throughout the world, through all the experiences I have. And, you know, I think that there's so much to see and so much to do in this world. You know, I love coming out here and looking up at the sky. You know, I love setting myself in motion. You know, I have this insatiable lust for life. You know, I have this insatiable lust for power. You know, the will to power is perhaps what fuels us. You know, as I look up at the sky and watch these lightning bugs, you know, it reminds me of light and what photography means. Phos meaning light, graphia meaning writing, you know, drawing with light, writing with light. You know, photography can create an instant sketch of light, an instant sketch of life. You know, you can create a new world in a fraction of a second. To me, this is the superpower of photography. It's the ability to find meaning in the mundane, to create something from seemingly nothing. And yeah, I think it's really simple. You just got to set your body in motion without preconceived notions of what you will find, detached from the outcome, embracing the spirit of play. And you know, I believe in this notion of shooting from the heart, you know, following your courage, and ultimately this will lead you to what I believe to be success in photography, which is essentially curiosity and increasing your curiosity 1% each day. So what is success in photography? It's really simple. Simple. Curiosity and increasing your curiosity. You know, are you still interested in life itself? You know, are you still positioning yourself on the front lines of life? Well, consider yourself a successful photographer. And so one of the first video games that I played as a kid was Kingdom Hearts. I remember for the PlayStation 2, you know, this is one of the most interesting open world sort of action RPG games, you know, these role-playing games where you play as the hero Sora meaning sky. You start on what I believe, I remember it's called Destiny Island, I'm pretty sure. You know, everyone, you know, Sora and his friends are on Destiny Island, sort of isolated from the world. And the goal in the very beginning of the game, you know how there's tutorials, you kind of learn the mechanics of the game and sort of what buttons to press and all that kind of stuff, is you go around collecting wood and collecting tarps and materials to craft a raft. And, you know, immediately Sora and his friends are having this call to adventure, this desire to leave the island and explore new worlds. And, you know, they're sort of just pondering, looking out at the horizon, you know, wondering, you know, what's out there? There's got to be more out there in life. You know, we got to go out there and explore. And they start to craft this raft. However, once they finish and they're ready to leave, a portal to darkness arrives on the shoreline. And Sora's friend, Riku, chooses to go through the portal to darkness. Sora stays behind. And yeah, they were best friends. Later on in the game, you know, while Sora is exploring, he wields a Keyblade. And the Keyblade is his sword. And he's unarmed. He has his wooden sword. Riku, with the darkness now, is considered a nobody, you know, soulless. You know, when the darkness takes you, you become soulless, you become a nobody. And yeah, there's this famous scene from the game. It's like this cut scene. It's kind of like a movie. It's pretty cool, where, you know, Sora responds to Riku, you know, I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power. You know, sort of just like discussing how all of the friends he's made along his journey, you know, all of the experiences he's had up to that moment fuel him with this love, with this power, with this light, with this courage, this heart. And Riku, being with the darkness, has this power for evil and nefarious reasons. This sort of darkness consumed him. And yeah, there's interesting tensions between light and darkness and good and evil, and, you know, themes of courage, love, friendship. And what I find to be also intriguing with the notion of the kingdom within the game Kingdom Hearts, you know, what is the Kingdom Hearts? You know, there's this metaphorical door. I think there is even a physical door, and you use the key to unlock this door to Kingdom Hearts, to the Kingdom of Hearts. And yeah, the kingdom essentially represents, you know, omnipotent power, knowledge, wisdom, and both the people of darkness and light are striving towards this kingdom. And so yeah, maybe to strive for power is the ultimate good. And I believe what this striving provides you with is this insatiable lust for life itself, right? Where the more I contemplate art and give myself this task each day of making new art, making new photos, making new videos, making new thoughts, you know, and trying to create again and again and again each and every day, you know, there's something in me that is striving for greatness, you know, striving to overcome myself, you know, where this is, I believe, where we can thrive is in the production of things, creating things, and using power as the motivating sort of driving force behind it all, right? Where, you know, you think of power, yeah, it can be for good or evil, you know. You can think of power and war. You know, when you think of war and nature, you know, it is quite violent, right? When an eagle swoops down and kills a goat, all it has to do is push it over the cliff. You know, the goat then falls to the ground and the eagle feasts. And, you know, there's something in human nature as well that is violent. You know, I think of when we crafted spears and weapons. You know, the bow and arrow allowed humans to overcome these beasts in the wild. You know, I don't really know that we necessarily during our period of being hunter-gatherers were wrestling with bears in the wild. You know, I assume that we started to craft tools, we started to make things to overcome these beasts, to overcome these animals, and to find ourselves as the apex predator, the most powerful force in the world, the human being. And you know, think of Minecraft, right? In Minecraft, you know, you spawn in, you first start out and you get a wooden, you start punching trees. You know, I start punching a tree in Minecraft. You know, you punch the tree with your fist. Here, let's punch some trees. Yeah, you punch the tree, you get the wood, you craft the sticks, you make a pickaxe. Then you go to the cave, and when you're in the cave, you get the stone. And there we are in the Stone Age. And so, yeah, with these stone tools, we can then attack, we can make swords, we can make arrows, and we can start fighting. And yeah, from there you gather iron, and then you can start to really, you know, exert some power. You know, you get yourself an iron sword. That's gonna certainly do more damage than a stone sword. You can start to craft armor with iron. You can start to defend yourself. And so, yeah, I believe that we can use this lust for power, this will to power for good. You know, we can defend ourselves against threats. But we can also use it to attack others nefariously. You know, as we evolve from the Iron Age to the 21st century with drones and technological advancements, you know, such as artificial intelligence, now we can wield this power, this technology, these things that humans create for evil and nefarious reasons and acts. You know, when I was in Miami, I remember seeing this dog, like a robot dog, driving around delivering food. It reminds me of when I played Call of Duty Black Ops for the first time in like 2010 or something like that, like 2011, whenever it was released. And you could use an RCXD robot dog, kind of like RC car, and you just drive the car out, and it's a bomb, there's a bomb strapped to it, and you can just blow up the base. And it was the most tedious and annoying thing to die from. You know, thinking of the Predator missile, where you control a missile from your laptop in Modern Warfare 2. You know, the RC cars. But I think that not, you know, like real life is almost becoming like this video game, right? In warfare specifically, where we can wield these drones and these things for evil acts. I don't think that it's ethical at all to, you know, almost just dehumanize warfare, where some kid sitting behind a bunker, a citadel, a fortress with an Xbox controller can blow up a village of citizens or people that, you know, didn't necessarily need to be killed. You know, someone can sort of sit behind the comfort of a bunker with a controller, similar to them playing Xbox, and kill innocent people. And so this just raises some alarms. This raises some concerns. You know, where maybe the original you know, drone operators were the archers in warfare that sat on top of the castle walls and were not on the front lines of battle with swords and shields. However, yeah, maybe with the modern world and, you know, cities, it seems like nothing's really happening. Like, I understand we have events like this past weekend, we had this block party, the streets closed down. You know, it was extremely fun. It reminds me of why William Penn you know, made the streets, these wide promenades, these wide sidewalks, you know, to fill it with people. But now, you know, the streets, they're filled with cars. You know, most people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is hop in a vehicle, sit down, drive for a half hour to an hour, get to the office, sit down again for 8 hours, box themselves in, you know, operate computers, operate technology, sort of smile, put on a white collar, and then they get back in the car, drive for a half hour, drive for an hour, get stuck in traffic, get really frustrated, and go home, eat dinner, watch TV, and go to sleep, and repeat again. And I think this is a cycle that most people that wind up coming from the suburbs into the city, or even people that live in a city, sort of embark on each and every day. There's this sort of hamster wheel that we sort of all partake in, and we don't really have time to even think about it, where time is luxury. Time to question things, time to even think now is a new luxury, and the privilege is being outside, right? So the luxury of time, the privilege of the outdoors. You know, if you are outside and breathing fresh air, yeah, consider yourself blessed, consider yourself privileged. You know, I think the simple pleasures go a long way, like walking, sunlight, good water. You know, these things I believe maybe we even take for granted in the modern world, where I remind myself of the village in Zambia when I was a Peace Corps volunteer working with aquaculture. We had a well in the center of the village. This is the place where people come to take water, to fill buckets, to feed their families, to draw water from the well. And I would go home, boil the water, run it through a gravity filter, add iodine, and then safely consume it once it filters, and sleep under a mosquito net so I don't get eaten by mosquitoes and contract malaria, right? There's these places in the world still that don't have these technological advancements, and the fact that humans can turn on a tap in modern cities like Philadelphia and get clean water without having to worry about it is actually a really big deal. And water is the ultimate source of vitality and what can allow any community, city, village, town to thrive, right? So yeah, how can we give our lives meaning in our everyday life? Yeah, maybe we can treat ourselves like Sora. You know, we can treat ourselves like the character from the games that we enjoyed growing up playing. We can sort of fill that void with this sense of meaning through play. And I think that this is really important in my life, you know, where life can become a dream and the mundane can become something that it does not seem, when embracing the spirit of play, imagination, creativity. And I believe that this actually can give life a deeper meaning in a world where we have so many advancements, so many yummy food options, TV shows, and things to consume. But the problem is, with a lot of the stuff that we create now, it seems like it's mostly useless junk, and maybe we shouldn't fill our brains with junk. You know, a lot of the food that we create, you know, think of Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, General Mills, you know, all of the foods that are processed and made in factories. You know, think of all of the TV shows and drama and gossip. You know, these things we should avoid. Oh, and avoid social contagion like the plague. Social contagion meaning, yeah, if other people are doing stuff, that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to do it. You know, if people are going out and to the club, to party, to go into the darkness, to go into the cave, yeah, you don't have to go just because other people go. You can decide what you want to do and what you do not want to do. And yeah, maybe going forward, to define yourself by what you do not do or who you are not is more critical than the things that you do, consume, or even make. You know, you are not your photos. You know, we are multifaceted people, and perhaps to break free from all traditional notions of what makes street photography. Street photography is critical. You know, there's the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Yeah, I think elevating your body to a high vantage point is a good idea as well. When you can see beyond the horizon, it reminds me how open the world really is. It always brings me this call to adventure, similar to me being on Destiny Island, looking out towards that ocean. You know, I'm looking out towards the river here, and yeah, it just reminds me to continuously move onward and to create anew each and every day. What is the ultimate goal of an artist? Perhaps to champion humanity, to uplift the human spirit to a new height, to sort of transcend this world. Thinking of the basilicas in Rome, thinking of the beautiful sculptures in Florence, thinking of wonderful works of art such as music produced by the Wanamaker organ, City Hall, you know, great sculpture and architecture. When you look up at it, it uplifts the human spirit, you know. But then you go by City Hall and you look to the left of it and you see the municipal building with its brutalist architecture that actually dampens the human spirit, and it lowers the feelings that you get. You know, these bureaucratic buildings and systems in place where nothing's really happening. Yeah, those things kind of make you miserable, make you depressed, make you anxious. And yeah, ultimately the endless pursuit for materials, the endless pursuit for money, the endless pursuit for fame, these things are what cause anxiety. These are the things that cause just negativity in general to consume us. And yeah, I think the more that we can disconnect from basic notions of what success means, the happier that we can be. But ultimately, it's that will to power that will bring you there. Yeah, each and every morning when you listen to the birds, it's like you're having a communion with God. You know, the simple music of the birds, even the sounds of the cars and the water rushing. You know, these things fuel me with vitality and give life meaning when you embrace the moments that are fleeting. Yeah, if today was your last, how would you spend your day? Where would you visit? Where would you go? If you were to die in your sleep tonight, how would you start your day? Maybe this is something that we should consider more. Yeah, if I were to die tonight, I'd be pretty content with it. I'd be pretty happy. I mean, because I strive for more each and every day with that sort of call to action, that call to adventure. Yeah, I start my day off here. This is where I would start my day off if this is my last day. I mean, what a better place to visit each day in Philadelphia. So yeah, who knows? Maybe you can't live forever, but you can make a photograph.